from Port Elgin, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, his first trip to Saskatchewan, and did we give him a frosty welcome. Jason started his first Colt when he was 12 years of age, and he's been involved in this industry ever since. He's proud of the fact that he's a self-taught trainer who has put foundation training on hundreds of young horses over the years. Although he originally he was born and raised in Prince Edward Island, Jason has been the trainer at a family business called North Star Livestock, which is based out of Port Elgin, Ontario for the past 20 years. North Star Livestock raises quarter horses and specializes in big, fancy blue roans, and who doesn't love a big, fancy blue roan? These horses sell all over North America. Jason and his wife brought them to teach 20 or more horsemanship and livery training clinics every year across Canada and North America. Although his specialty is starting colts under saddle, Jason also works with problem horses, adds finishing training to older horses, competes in the colt starting competitions, and trains livery horses. Horses started and trained by Jason have gone on to excel in everything from barrel racing to ranch work to fox hunting to performing in drill teams and just about everything in between. His aim is to put a solid foundation on a horse so it can go on to excel in any discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me join in with me and welcome Jason Irwin to the round pen. So I don't know how many of you folks were here for the start of this deal last night, but this girl here, she's pretty happy. She's got her own attitude about what things should be done and things that shouldn't. Just see a little bullet and all swinging her hip into me. Now yesterday she was pretty darn proud. By that I mean she was shoved into me quite a bit. I didn't make as big a deal of it yesterday because I didn't want to start off things with me giving her a hard time. But at the same time, today here, I'm going to be just a little more insistent that she mind her manners. So I don't like that she's swinging this hip in. I don't really think she wants to kick, but I don't want to take that chance yet. We're going to get a little bit away from the saddle here. She's paying more attention to it. And I might be just a little tougher on her at the start here, just because she isn't showing just as much respect as I would like. I don't want to terrorize her. If she wants to be good, I'll sure be nice to her. But we aren't going to have this stuff too much and just say that's fine when it's not. I like her to step out of the trot. That's a little better. I'm going to go behind in. That's pretty decent. Now, I'll pet on her at times, but you won't see me rubbing all over as much as some. And the reason for that is, this mare here doesn't entirely love being petted on just yet. I think she'll get there, but I don't think it's just right now. So we have to get a bit of a working relationship going here. Now, although she's pretty peppy on the ground, and this might sound backwards, I'm actually looking forward to getting on her, because a big tough one like this, sometimes you kind of wrestle around on the ground for quite a while. But I prefer just to put a good basic start on them, and then I would like to get on and put some of that energy to work for me instead of arguing with it. So that was better on that side. I'm going to yield the hind end. Again, she did it, not with the best frame of mind. Not definitely. No. Well, easy. No. So I don't want to be out here just giving her a hard time either. I'll give her little pauses, let her think about things. Now this side here was actually her weaker side the other day. That's actually her slightly better side today. So I might have broke through a little bit of resistance. Yield the hind quarters. Okay. Try it this way. Again, she's getting in a little close. So I'm just going to kind of keep her out for me. So that's better. Yield the hind end again. Now there, she debated not kicking, but swinging her hip to me. I yielded at the same time. So I'm hoping if I use good timing like that a bit, I can fix the problems without having any arguments. Now one thing I didn't do yesterday was teach her to back up from a distance, which is something I'm going to touch on here just a little bit, because keeping this mare out of my personal space is going to be a bit of an issue. So what I'm going to do is start out front from her, try to get far enough away. And I'm going to twirl this lead rope, I'm going to walk at her shoulder, and I want her to back away from her. And now normally I'd be bringing them to me at this stage, but just because she's a little overly pushy, I'm going to make more of a point of doing just a little bit of this stuff. And I don't like to start off a training session aggressive, but at the same time, now that time I didn't have to touch her. So it shows that she kind of got the idea. At that time I didn't have to touch her, I almost did, but not quite. So I don't want her to think I'm just being mean here. I'll reach out, maybe try to pet her. She just doesn't want that entirely yet. Now I think she's one that needs several breaks, but they have to be pretty short. So I'll fiddle with her for a minute, then leave her alone for a second, then fiddle with her, then leave her alone. If I just stopped here and tried to pet her for 5 minutes, I think she would get squirrely. I'm just going to make a point of keeping her out. Yield the hindquarters. There. Try and go the other way. Again, because she kind of cocks her hip towards me the odd time, yielding those hindquarters away are pretty darn important to me. She's going to get stuck. I'll just keep a little tension on. Don't come in too close. You see when she does something and gives, she sort of says there, but then gets a little rude about it. Right, it's not half fed. So I'm just going to do this for another minute or two. I don't want to do it too long because it's not my focus. They start to swing a little bit in, just pull their head a little towards you. Now when she starts doing this, I'm just going to keep pressure on there until she gets going. There we go. And then I'm going to swing the hip away. No, we're not bumping on it. Okay. Now I also don't want to get her nervous about this lead, so I'll spend just a little bit of time whirling it around where it has no meaning. And this will help get one ready to have a lariat swung off their back or something like that too. I also use Australian stall whips, as some of you would have seen here last night. So as you can kind of see, she did get some of the points what I was showing yesterday, because this at the start yesterday bothered her. And yesterday she wouldn't lunge at all. Now she lunges, she just doesn't entirely enjoy doing it on command. So I guess that's a start, not exactly what I want to be, where I want to be, but not bad either. Now I'm going to touch on some of the things I did yesterday, but I'm going to go through them just a little bit quicker. Right there. I'm not going to let her rub on me. So I'll move this around her belly. I'll tighten it a little bit. Shuffle it around. This is, you need to do it front and back, farther down the barrel and back again. That way they get used to the front cinch and the back cinch. Now I'm going to pull this horse towards me while I have tension on here. And this gets them where you can move them around with the saddle on, hopefully without bucking. That's not too bad. Again, I'm not going to spend long because we did yesterday. Also yesterday, we bridled this mare. I showed how to do it. I'll just touch on it again real quick. I'll take this lead rope, I'll run it up and over their ears, and then bring it back down. Up and over their ears, and bring it back down. I'll do that a few times. Then I'll get where I can handle their ears. I'll just wait till she stops right there. And I also would slip the finger in the corner of their mouth. Now when they open their mouth, I would normally let go. Now she's doing it there. Again, not the best frame of mind in the world. But with this mare, when she throws her head down, that's when I bump it. Okay, I had her push this out. Now this type is a little hard to reward, because when I make her work, she's mad she's working. When I pet her, she doesn't like being petted. When I let her rest, she wants to move. When I want her to move, she wants to stop. She's much like dealing with other women. I thought I would get some boobs. I was waiting for that. You were a little slow on getting to that part. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this bridle on, but I'm going to extend it, make it just a little bit bigger, so it slides on just a little easier. Now I want her to be good to bridle, so I'm just warming up the bit a little bit in my hands. Now I would fully expect her to sling her head a little bit, but I'm going to try to get it on without bumping her teeth. If it happens, it's not the end of the world, but it wouldn't be my first pick either. Also with this mare, the bridle's almost a little bit like a soothing. It gives her something else to worry about. So although that doesn't look real pretty, it got in without the teeth being banged. Just strap around. That's not too bad. Maybe. Sometimes I'll do it up just one tighter than I normally would. And that way there, it hangs a little higher in the mouth. We don't get the tongue over quite as easy. Off we go again. Now I'm going to mess with the tarp. She was pretty good about this part. She's not so much scared as she is just a little obstinate. Put this on, take it away. Put it on, take it away. Put it on, take it away. I'm going to go down both sides quick here. Now I did this yesterday, so I'm not going to spend a long time on it. Now she wants to move, she can move if she's swinging her hip away from me. But she can't throw her head in. Just give it a quick second and then start again. Sometimes if things start going too south, if you just pause for a split second, that's just enough to hit the reset button and start again. Just going to let her walk around. I might flap this just a little bit. Not so much that she jumps through the ceiling, but just enough. Now she's looking away from me, which isn't my first preference. So when she is looking away, I'll just give tiny little tugs on the lead rope. I won't really pull, but I'll just lightly rock the face forward. Again, if she wants to move, I'm still learning to give that halter a little bit. Take that away. So the next step here would be my pad. Again, usually when I change things, you're going to see me maybe make one lap with a pen, just to give her that moment a little bit. But she's so active that it's sort of sometimes hard to tell with this one. I can take her and run her around, and the reason I'm not doing that is, I think she's one she has quite a bit of, I don't know if fight's the word, but she has quite a bit of resistance, and I think I can work a lot of that out, actually running her around the pen a bit and changing directions and stuff like that. The thing I don't like about it is, I think this is one that would take quite a bit of running to get to that point. And although she is a lot of horse, I still need a lot of horse to last me over the course of the entire competition. So that's kind of holding me back. I'm just turning her loose and sending her out. I'm going to do that here shortly. Let's put this on. I said it yesterday, but throw it on sometimes in this motion. The reason for that is, then they get used to a saddle coming down. It's a lot easier to throw your saddle up, your pad up high than it is your saddle. Do me here. I do want to stand still.
The horse does reflect the rider. Gosh, she's an idiot. Oh, she reflects the rider, she said. What do you think what your horse is? Yeah. I don't think it's an idiot. Very indecisive.
We're about 15 minutes into your 1 hour session, Jason.
Try hard, try hard.
Thank you for that valuable piece of information. I'm going to take here. Now you can see just how much she loves the feel of that. So we're going to do it just snug enough. Now, I would like to get that cinch down, excuse me, the back cinch done up, and the stirrup down. There we go. Now you got to watch a little bit here. You try to do it this way, but I'm going to pick her head up. I'm going to move her around, keeping that head high, because in theory, if I can do that, she can't buck with her head. And then I'll start to let her out just a little bit. So just let her go if she wants to go. Now the one thing, the saddle is helping my cause here, because before when I asked her to go around me, she was taking and she'd go half a circle and resist because she was looking at it as work. Now she's moving because of the saddle. So that might be lazy, but that's the route I'm taking. When you're training horses, why be involved if they can do it themselves? So I'm going to take a point here, yield the hip. Yeah, not the best attitude in the world, which did. I'm going to check my cinch. I can probably get it up one. Now she almost wants to step into a lope. If she wants to, that's okay. Now if I see her hump up, so for instance, right about now, she was to suddenly hump up a little bit, I would yield the hind end quick, and then send her out again. And in theory, that would prevent her from bucking. Now if they really take off, chances are you aren't going to get stopped. And that, but if you kind of catch it right before it happens, and I don't like really, I used to turn them loose after I saddle them, and I don't do that anymore. And the reason is, sometimes when you let them go, they overreact and they'll jump, maybe hit the fence, hurt themselves a little bit. Also, if they run blindly, you're not entirely sure what they're going to do. If you can prevent them from doing the really silly stuff, they accept the saddle quicker. In most cases, there's probably the odd one that would make a liar out of me there, but that's not too bad. That isn't bad. Now I'm going to take, again, I'll walk around just a sec, and then I'm going to swap over and use the long line on her. And the reason for that is I get out from her a little farther. It'll be a little easier to work her at speed. It'd be more impressive if I was following her while she was doing that, I admit. And as resistant as she's being, the one thing you'll notice is she didn't talk. Now, she sure thought about it there. Seriously thought about it. But if you can get it done without the explosions, you'll also find they'll settle down into it just a little bit each. So I'd like to yield the hindquarters. There, she was cross-firing there, she picked up a proper lead. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make one tiny adjustment. I'm going to feel the hindquarters again. And one little trick sometimes I'll do, I'll tighten the front cinch, check it again first, make sure it's good and snug. And I'm going to do the back cinch maybe one snugger than what I would normally do. Because again, if they're going to buck, I'd rather they figured that out and worked out their system before I got on. Okay. Yield. Oh. That was good. I'm trying to time this. I'm going to pet her. If she tries to bump into me, I'm just going to let her run into my elbow. But then I'm not going to hold any bad feelings against her for it. And I'll take her back to pet her. But if I can time that right, where she sort of runs into my elbow instead of me slapping her or pushing her away too much, I can fix the problem without it turning into a big deal. So I'm just going to send her around this pen. Nope. Okay, there again. She went to start, but I had just enough control on her. I'd like to thank for some of the previous work I've done, but I could talk her out of it before it happened. I'm going to yield the hind end. Not going to worry too much about stopping. I'm just going to get to move. Now, when she came in here, you can see she was pretty darn fresh. So I don't mind seeing a little less work out of her. At the same time, as dumb as it sounds, I don't want to see her wear her out. And that because as much horse as she is, like I said earlier, I still need a fair bit of horse for this thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that weren't here yesterday for the Colt selection process or the first round that the trainers had with these horses, I have to inform you that Jason drew the #1 pick out of the hat and picked this pretty yellow filly that the audience named Valentine. Is that smart or not? Well, you'll either love her or she'll break your heart. I'm more worried about breaking my back. So I've got this snaffle snapped onto the D-ring of this snaffle. So when I'm walking, I'm giving little pulls here and there. And she's responding to them very well. So now look like I'm just walking a circle. But I am just giving little pulls here and there. And she's giving to that bridle pretty nice. So check this switch. Now I'm going to switch. I'm going to go on the other side. I'm just going to walk this way. I'm going to give little pulls on the bridle here and there. I won't go for a long time, I'll do it for a minute, then I'll walk out of it. Now when she resists like that, I keep that pressure on, or even possibly give a tiny little bump, but then as soon as she gives, I stop pulling. So, keep going. So a lot of times a person will start them in a rope halter or a hack them over, and I do that sometimes too. The reason I'm not real keen on doing it with her is because she is a little bit of a bully. I almost think she's the type that might run through the rope halter or the hackmore. And that's not always the case, but something I find too is I've spent an awful lot of time trying to get really soft and light with my hands. So basically I feel like I can pull it off going right to the snaffle. Gives me a little more control. Having said that, each to their own. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just the way I do. Now, the other day, when I went to jump up and down by this filly, she got awfully testy about it. So I would take, I'd bump just a little bit. I might even raise my body and not come off the ground. And again, actually, I would pet her normally and say good job, but she doesn't like being pet. So now I'm going to pause in the air a little bit at times if possible. Pause. We're just going to keep messing with this for a minute. If you have a determined horse, this gets tiring. So yesterday I couldn't bounce up and down at all at the beginning. So believe it or not, that was an improvement. I'm just going to take and touch on this a little bit here and there. So that was a lot better. Well, I appreciate the clapping, but I prefer a volunteer to come up and do this for me for a minute. Just if I get somebody like to bounce up and down a little. I'm going to do a little bit on the other side, but I don't get on that side, so I'm not going to stay quite as long maybe. Again, when she gets swinging her head, you kind of know she's tuning out and that stuff. We're going to move the saddle around a little. Check the cinch again. Just move this around a little bit. If she wants to go, that's fine with me. I'll let her. But I'd like to get her used to as much of this stuff as I could now. Before I go on her back. Now she tucked up a little bit and really sucked up, so that cinch actually isn't too snug anymore. She didn't care for that, but I held myself in the air for just a moment there. That's actually not something that I insist they wait for me and get good with it, because it's pretty awkward holding a person's weight over like that. As long as they don't go completely loopy about it.
You're at about the halfway mark, Jason, of this second training session with this film.
Right up.
About 30 minutes left.
Not your stretch, you guys. Going to head out here again for just a second. Now, every so often I'm going to stop and ask this mare to back up. There. When her feet go, I release. I ignore the head stuff. Well, she really shoves on me. I might bump a little bit. As soon as those feet move, I let go. Feet move, I let go. I only do that 2-3 times and I'll leave again, because I don't want to sit there and wrestle with her. Just make my point. Also, you notice I'm stopping her using the reins, because I teach them to stop by putting a good backup on them. If they're going forward and I get them to back up, at some point there's a stop in there somewhere. So you'll find me working more on the back up than you will stop, but I'm actually sort of doing both. There, there, there. There we go again. Now this mare here, because she does get fairly aggravated fairly quickly, I think when I go to step on her, I have a feeling that she may have reservations. We'll put it that way. And but also I think if I hop up and down for 20 minutes and do every little thing, I think she's still going to have reservations when I go to get on. And so to some degree, I think I'm going to have to sort of bite the bullet. Actually, this is the part I need a volunteer. Someone? Anyone? Anyone at all? Now, normally, I would let them stand still and I would start stepping in the saddle. Or if they were harder, I would pull their head around. I might have trouble with either one, because when you pull on her head, she fights. When she has her head, she can run away. So, basically, I'll just pick one and we'll see. I'm going to start with the on straight theory. I have a feeling how well this is going to go. No, not the head stuff. Not the head stuff. Now I'm going to rub on her like my life depends on it, because it probably does. So there, I come up really low, I come up fairly quick, and I sit here, and I rub. And then off I go, back on I go, off I go, back on I go. The horse has been rode, I'm going home. Thank you all, it's a wonderful crowd. Now, because of all the excellent prep work I've done, I'm 100% confident this is going to go well. 11 or 8 seconds. 9. So what I'm going to do here is hold on. And now we're going to pull this mare a little to the side, and I'm just going to try to get her feet moving. Move left. There we go. Now what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to get her moving out. When she starts slinging that head, I'm going to pull one rein until she turns, and then I'm going to immediately release. And then we're going to head out with it. Release isn't down there. Okay, we'll go the other way it goes. That's what we're going to do next anyways, and that's how you teach one to spin. For any of you reiners in the place, I think that was a +1. Now I'm going to take here and step off, because I think she's going to maybe have a little resistance. I'm just going to drop my stirrups one notch. Not that I'm planning for the worst, but prepared, that's the word I prefer to use. So I think you can see with this horse, it's more resistance in a lot of cases than fear. Now sometimes fear comes out a little bit in the form of resistance, but at the same time, I think her attitude just isn't the easiest in the world, not that she's not a really good filly, because she is, but she's not above giving you a little bit of grief. Okay, if she doesn't want to turn, we can also just go forward. We didn't want to stop a minute ago. Oh, not too fast. Now I got her turning so good to the left. She just wants to sit there and spin. Be nice, that's easy. All I'm asking you to do is walk around. You didn't want to stop earlier, so you're getting careful. I'd like to line her out there. You know. Okay, now I'm not going to tell the judges their job, but there is a section in there, difficulty. That's for, I don't care what you do with the rest of it, that's your choice. I don't want her going backwards too much, because that's when they sometimes do something silly. So when she wants to go, I'm going to let her, because when she's going, she isn't fighting, and she isn't resisting. And this horse is one that needs more to do than less. Now I prefer she didn't canter here, but if I feel her going to break, I'll just turn a little bit to the inside at that exact moment. And the reason for that is I don't want to feel like I'm losing control that she thinks it's just a runaway contest. Now when I want to slow one down, well, she went and did it for me, but okay, here we go. I'll wind them down. I'll pick up on one rein and just turn them a little bit. Now I don't want her to stop. Also slapping my own leg here just instead of her. What she's responding to well is how I desensitize her. For anyone who didn't catch that part. Out we go. I don't want you stopping a lot. You're more than welcome to go a little faster if you want, but you're not stopping. The reason for that is when she stops, she thinks too much. And the problem with that is, her thinking isn't all happy thoughts. And here we go again. Nope. I'm not going to let her turn back. And the reason for that is, if you let them go around for a little bit at their own deal, but then if they just start throwing in random nonsense, that's just them resisting more. And I want them to know the release from this pressure is stepping out nicely. Not throwing on the brakes, not changing directions at our own chosen speed. Now you see how much trouble I'm having getting this mare moving this way? So when I get this, it's going to be a big deal, but it might take me a minute to get there.
We're at the 20-minute mark left, Jason, in this second 1 hour session.
Okay? Now if she wants to break into a lope this time, that's fine. If she wants to break into other things, like in two, I'm not going to be as happy. Normally I go to the left because they get the left lead easier. That was a little bit. So let's let her slow down, relax for a minute. Now we got this forward stuff going on. I'm going to try to get her back into a lope, going this way. I think she'll carry this a little easier. She seems a little bit more left-leaded. I'm just going to keep pushing. I'm not going to let her flip her head and carry on. Now, if you folks want to clap, that'd be about the time. So, I didn't really have 486, so. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride around for a minute, not doing much of anything. I'm just going to let her go. You're going to see me move my legs around a bit. You're going to see me ride just a little bit awkward. I'm going to bounce around. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to lean forward. And the reason for that is, if you ride all picture perfect all the time, that's great on a show horse or a finished horse or whatever other older horse. But on the Colts, I like to ride intentionally goofy a little bit. And the reason for that is, if they get used to me doing all this nonsense, then later on, if I accidentally bump them when I didn't mean to, or somebody gets on that doesn't have the best timing in the world, if they accidentally give a wrong cue, a little too fast, a little too slow, they aren't going to do much about it. That horse won't care. So it's just part of getting them quiet. So I'm just going to take, you might see me ride a little bit rough. You might see me lean back a little. You might see me lean forward. You might see me rub them. You got to keep her moving. You get swinging your legs. I call this one the elliptical. Who's riding faster? I call this one the English rider. I'm trying to get this down. I don't have it yet. You can judge me. I think it's supposed to look like this. Or if you're a dressage rider, it looks like this. If you're Western pleasure, it looks like this. So I'm going to take now, we're going to do a little changing of directions. I don't want to wear her out too much. But by God, I got on and held on, so we're going to do some stuff on here. So I'm just going to take, walk around. Now what I'm going to do is wait for this filly to want to go somewhere, and then I'm going to pick up on that rein at that moment, and then release. And the reason for that is I'm going to let her commit to something, then I'm going to say that's what I was asking for anyways. Therefore, you get exactly what I wanted. So hold till she gives, there, and out we go again. Now at this point, I don't care anymore what speed we're at, as long as it's not this one. So I'll let her commit to a move, and then I'm just going to go with it. There on the corner, I knew she was going that way anyway, so I asked for it. She's going that way anyway, so I asked for it. She had to go that anyways because of the fence. She's wanting to turn this way, I'm going to ask for it. Now this was a little snug. I was a little too close to the fence probably, but she can figure that out. So again, when she goes somewhere, I'm just going to ask for that exact thing and have her thinking that the two of us are actually on the same page. She might not have realized it up to now, but we were. That's okay. Now I'm going to start steering her around without waiting for her to make a move. So we're going this way. Now we're going to go this way. Doesn't help that I was doing it right by those whips and stuff, but there we go. Wherever she wants to go. Excuse me, I'm not going to wait for her to decide anymore. You're just going to see me walk right around the pen. At that time, I asked her to go the opposite direction of where she was going to go. And maybe it was luck, but that time she did the exact opposite of what she was going to intentionally do. And I didn't have as much fighting and resistance as before. So I'm hoping she's kind of giving to this thing. We're going to turn here. Nice. We're going to turn here. Almost nice. We're going to step out. We're going to look if we can. Whoop. That's how we train them to do jumping. We start with the back end first, with the front end follows forward. Okay. I'm going to go the other way just because she's a little easier this side. Oh, I lied. I don't want to run around much more, but I want one more low cut of her. And I think that'll be the end of our low. Nope. Yep. Anyone else have a drop?
Sneaking up on about 13 minutes left in your second training session with this film.
Okay. So now what's something I might do? I might get them used to swinging a rope. Because I'm not very good at swinging a rope, I'm going to do it without a rope. So I'm just going to ride around. You might see me move my arms around a little bit. Maybe I'll make a revolution or two. Then I'll just stop. I'm pretty much going to give her head, but I don't want her jammed up against the walls. I prefer she moving. So I'll just take, swing that if she wants to go faster because she's scared of it, then I've taught her to speed up. I don't really care. She wants to stop that bad, she can now. There we go. There we go. Now this mare is looking for an escape. She's thinking, this is an awful lot of stuff. I still haven't figured out how to get rid of this guy. So instead of pushing on her all the time, I'm just going to give her a minute. She can back up. I'll leave her alone. I don't care at this moment. She'll find out if she backs up, I'm still here. If she does this, I might stop, still be there. But this, I can handle. I'm from Ontario, but not that bad. Then I might take the end of this rope, just use the rein, spin it once or twice, spin it once or twice, put it down, spin it a little bit more, put it down, spin it a little bit more. So this is me getting one used to having something swung off his back. I can just do it with the rein. If this horse was to jump or do something silly, I drop it. It's no longer there. If I do it with the rope, I've either now got to get the rope out of the way or throw the rope in there. So I'm kind of committed a little bit when I get into using the rope. This way I'm not committed at all. So I'm gone. And again, if she goes back a bit, if she does this at the start, I'm not going to care that much, except for if she jumps on that was here. See how I turned it back in? Okay, enough of that. That's all. Again, let's take here, swing this around. I'm not doing a ton of training, but actually I am. And the reason for this is, oh, that's enough. Don't worry about it. No more. Volume's okay. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and rub. So what I was going to say there was, even though it looks like maybe I'm just repeating the same old things again and again, which I am, this is important because this mare, she has so much fight and resistance in her that when we finally get something going, I need to go to the point where she finally lets down and says that's okay. The problem is, on the ground doing that with this mare, it's all right, but she's a big enough horse and she's just enough of a bully that she'll keep muscling you around. So to get rid of that, instead of sitting on the ground, hustling, wrestling, carrying on, I'd rather get on her back. Now she's the one doing the work. And I'm still getting through to her mentally. So even though I'm not standing beside her, I'm getting through to her, and the groundwork, in theory, will improve from this. Because she's learning to give, she's giving the pressure. So like that right there, there's 360 with no mixed in. Right, the other way. Now I don't want to show off, but
Jason, I think there's many of us here that enjoyed your humor specific to a few of the equine disciplines out there, and I kind of got to get in on this thing as well. You know what the difference is between a team roper and an extra large speed setting?
actually I do.
Tell the folks.
If it's the one I think of as the extra large pizza that can feed a family of 4.
You got it.
Is that the one?
That's the one.
Okay. What do you call a team roper without a girlfriend?
I have no idea.
Homeless. I think I've equally offended every discipline by this point. So if there's anyone I left out, just shout her out. Barrel racing, all my life barrel races. I am not going there. I am not going to make fun of how they look like tinfoil balls. So I wouldn't even touch that area. Okay. So again, I'm just kind of going for a Sunday ride now. It's not even Sunday. So carrying me around, I think you can see she's not all that upset about things anymore. And frankly, I'm happy to be sitting up here instead of standing down there. So it's going to make me slow to want to get off. Now, again, if I go to start stopping and backing, I'm not sure that I care all that much on her. To stop in the beginning, I'll kind of spiral them down to a stop in most cases. And then I would put light pressure on both reins. Now, she stopped on her own. I may ask her to back up a step or two, but again, I don't know that I care all that much because she fights with her face so much. I'd like to maybe do this when she's a little bit farther along to kind of see. I'll just wait and see if the opportunity sort of presents itself here. If she wants to go ahead instead, that's fine. Play with it just a little bit, see if I can stop her. See the face, there's the stop, there's the back up. Just one step. I bet you don't even see how I'm still doing it.
Some of what we watched over the last few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, the required elements on Sunday afternoon when we move into the finals.
You can stop after that. There we go. So again, I don't try to stop them in the beginning from fast speed. I'll kind of let them slow on their own if they want to slow. or I'll let them spiral them down and then kind of pull on them. Another thing you can do, if they're going a little quick, you can just rub on them. So if she was going too fast, I could just reach out, start scratching down her neck, and in theory, I'll try it. She doesn't really like being petted though, so. So you get them going. Okay, I can't get you to get the first part. Up we go, Coach. So you get them going, and then you just kind of ride deep and rub. So now the gate probably did the job there, not my expert training, but you get the point. So now at some point I better get off. So I'm just gonna, you're gonna see me move around a little bit in the saddle. Don't just swing off, surprise. But I'll sit here. Oh, he's going this way. This is the part you were looking for. So I'll sit here. Oh. Again, I'm just going to wait for my opportunity. I'm not getting in a wrestling match that I don't need to be in. So she stops. I'm just going to rub. Rub, 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 rub. I'm not getting in a hurry. Now I could reach down and pull on the bridle and pull her around a little bit. Like I mean, pull her head to me is how I mean it. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to wrestle. We'll just wait till she kind of finds a spot and settles down. That wasn't the spot. Whoa. And that's how you get off. I was better at this than you thought. Okay. Let's get take her quick. I don't want to pull her face when I'm on the ground. Done enough of that. Hold on, hold on. So I'm going to loosen the saddle up. Now we're just going to go for a walk.
Down to about 4 minutes. The trainers do have the discretion to end on prior to the 60-minute mark if they feel that they've come to a point in the training program that they would like to quit on, just to reassure or confirm that with you, with Jason.
Are you dropping here?
No, it's your prerogative. It may not have come up in the previous discussions.
No, I appreciate the help. Well, just give me 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Good. So if we're going for our walk, and have to walk over the rails if we need to later on in the program, that's fine too. Now normally, I would pull out the tarp and have them go over the tarp a little bit. The problem with that is right now, because we're down to the final few minutes, if I had just a little bit of trouble with that, then I've kind of ended on a poor note. And I don't want to do that because I'm pretty happy with the strides we've taken. Again, this is a different horse than some, and I think this is the type, she's bred to be a working horse, and she is one. I don't think she's the kind that gets trained by saying, oh, I love you, have another carrot. And that she's more the type where you have to do something, put her to work. She has all that energy anyways. You might as well do something with it. And I think as she gets into more and more, does more work, and I think a person has to be careful you don't get into fighting. And that, so the first session, I kind of tolerated some stuff from her that I didn't love, but I kind of looked at it as we aren't going to start off our training on a real poor note like that. So I just wanted to drive home a few basics. And when I first started out this evening, it didn't look like it had taken effect, but it did. Because stuff like accepting the tarp, although she jumped around a little bit, she accepted the saddle a whole lot faster. She accepted the bridle not as much when I slid it on, but she got used to it pretty quick carrying it. So we got a minute and a half left. I'm just going to spend this time brushing her. Again, normally this would be sort of a big reward. She doesn't really particularly love being fiddled with, but the thing is now she's also tired. So I'm hoping that she kind of will relax as I brush her, and she'll maybe think that, this isn't bad, and she'll learn to like this.
For the benefit of the folks that unfortunately can't be here for the Sunday final, some of the required elements when the horses compete in the wide open arena after this high hog pen is taken down include such things as picking up the feet, ground tying, riding over a tarp, riding over a bridge, just to name a few of the required elements. Keep in mind though, this is just the second opportunity Jason's had to spend with this good-looking yellow filly from Diamond Cave Ranch in Point, Saskatchewan, down to the last 20 seconds.
There. Apparently this filly's never picked up her feet before, until now. And yeah, I kind of timed that right down to the end. Well, not quite timed that good there, but when she's tired, I introduced it. 3, 2, 1, I'm done. Thank you.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Irwin. Absolutely delighted to have him and his wife come and join us for Equine Expo Trainers Challenge 2000.